go. So what we're working on today is that lovely Tortoise skin. I don't even know. Print, I guess. So this one here is in matte. And then this one is shiny. So it's a little bit harder to see. But you can see there. The pattern, of course, on the mat, you can definitely see it a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that today. And basically, what we did here is we're using these three colors from Beetles. So you have like kind of like a orangey mustard jelly type color, and then like a chocolate brown, and then you have like a darker chocolate brown, I guess. So those are the three colors from Beetles that we're using to create this look today. And then we are also using Beetles Blooming Gel. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing that I have done here is the base, right? And the base is that mustardy color. So we're just gonna start right from that. So look at that. It's actually a very pretty color. Very pretty mustardy. So you can, if you want to, do this color, one or two times. I'm only doing one base. To me is good enough. But if you wanted to, make it darker or something, you could definitely do another base. So that's gel. I'm going to go ahead and cure that for just a minute. Then once it comes out, basically I have what these guys are, just a base there. Then I'm going to be using my two colors. Now, as you know, I don't love for the nails to be super thick. So when I do this, I don't do the blooming on both of the brown. I do go ahead and do my lighter chocolate brown without the blooming, and just kind of do the shapes here by using a little dotter, which is a small dotter that I'm using there, you can see. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of do some irregular shapes, in just in different places, just kind of everywhere at random. And these regular shapes or irregular shapes are basically going to be underneath the darker brown that I bloom. So here we go. We're just making those little irregular shapes. They don't have to be in any way specific. This is just a way of me avoiding to double bloom on my nail is what I'm doing here. So just using a little bit. And it's kind of like the same thing if you were doing the camouflage, right? It's basically exactly what it is, but just in a different color, right? That's what I think. So here we go, just making sure that I get coverage completely, all around, some smaller and some bigger spots. So definitely want to make sure that I get some on my top and that my bottom is also covered just a little bit there. It doesn't have to be very dark or anything like that. Just be able to see it. It's kind of spread out a little bit. I guess thinner as it goes out, so that's a good way to make it look bloom, even if it's not, not to be too perfect on the look itself. Even the irregularness that comes out of it, you just kind of want to spread that out a little bit, So then you put that in, and then you cure that, and we'll go ahead and do another one while that's curing as well, just to do it another time. So completely irregular. I'm not planning this in any way at all. This is just coming down in the first spot, empty spot that I see there. So of course I don't want to have, like the, I guess like the indents of my little daughter here. So I want to make sure that I have enough on it, although I don't want it to be too thick. So just kind of find your medium there. And again, complete preference thing. You can have it as thick as you want. That's not my business. Here we go. But here we talking about my business, right? And this is how we're gonna do it. So, spreading that guy around. Making sure I get good coverage and some spaces. It could be smaller, you know. Come around here. There I go. And I'm gonna come this way so that way I have some everywhere. And then the other brown kind of overlaps it. And that's how you create the mirage, I guess, if you want to call it that. Here we go. So now you can see I have a pretty good coverage over here. Just need one little spot right there, and then I'm pretty much covered everywhere. Let's go. Another little spot here. There it is. Alright, so there we go. We're gonna put that guy to cure, and then once he comes out, then he'll be like this. And then this is when, look at that little guy. This is when we'll try our blooming at that point. So that guy gets pushed to the back, and now the man I will be using will be the little bit darker guy right there. I mean, you can see him. He's a dark chocolate, okay? And he is coming through. And this, I am going to bloom. So I'm going to, because the blooming really is pretty. So I want to do that at the second one so you can see it better, So here we go. And basically, of course, I also don't want too much of it. But enough that it is going to bloom. So I'm just kind of having like a little blob there. And it's coming down. Saturate. You want to definitely make sure it is completely saturated, dude. You are obsessed with my light. You see him? He is obsessed with my light. He's so different looking. I don't even know who he is. But here he goes. Make sure that he's not dry, You don't want him dry looking because then he's not going to do the job. He's not going to bloom. You don't want him with too much because then you're going to have like globs of stuff everywhere, So anyway, here he goes, and your bloom may not be even. So I'm going to take it, same as I was doing before with the irregulars when I drop, and I'm kind of trying to overlap in between them and then allow that to bloom even further. Drop a little bit there. Let that bloom a little bit. Come over here. Make it a little bit irregular. Let it bloom. Same over here. In all of the spots that I was. So they lead or guide me. Except that I'm overlapping them, and I'm not directly on top of them. And there it is. Nothing, right? 1, 2, 3. Lemon squeezing. Easy peasy. I'm just letting that bloom a little bit. Take a spread up until you like it. It's all up to you. I'm going to roll him this way. And, a person will just put their hand this way so that way it pulls down and not like towards the side or anything wild. So there he is. And what we're going to do with him, we're going to put him in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In that guy goes. He will be in there for 60 seconds. And now I have my second guy. So let's do that one more time, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take our little blooming thing, right? Boom, boom, boom. Get it over there. Make sure everybody's nice and quenched. They're not thirsty looking, It looks kind of smooth. There he is. And there we go. Now we're going to take again our little daughter and go over those spots. There it is. Or in between. And just give it that little irregular shape. Come over here. There that goes. And in this corner, let that spread. And over here. I think I just see one more little spot. That could definitely do it. There it is. So, doesn't take very long. I just see like some bubbles And that's the reason why I'm doing this, so that it doesn't dry with too much bubblicious looking. Alright, I'm going to turn him around. Let him kind of cool down. And I can take out my other little guy that just popped out. And there he is. So I can top coat him with gloss to even him out, because you can see where the bloom took place. However, you can see it's not very crazy, you know. And there's this guy. He's gonna go in and cure. So this man, you could either put the top coat glossy, or honestly my favorite, because it just can see so much better what is going on, is to use that matte top coat. And this is not that. This is the matte one. Boom, boom. There we go. So, again, with the matte, we want to make sure that we're kind of generous to it so that it does not streak. And I have no idea, to be honest with you, why does it always have, you know, these like crystallized situations. I mean, I literally just opened this guy, right? So there he is all over. I'm going to also spread him this one even with the matte though. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm doing it. I mean, it pulls, right? It's Joe. It's going to pull either way. So why not? There he goes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I feel like he's not flat enough, or not flat enough, but let's just say even enough, you know. There he goes. You can tell he's kind of trying to level out, but you could use a little guy like this to just make that happen as well. People normally turn it around and then do the little leveling thing. Once he's been done, then you can turn him and put him in here to get 60 seconds. And here's that other guy that came out. Looking good, looking good. You can see pretty good on the evenness as far as the blooming gel goes, because you got to be careful with that. That blooming gel could get really crazy. And I'm also going to make this dude matte just because I want to, because I'm going to tell you this. He is the glossy. I mean, he is the glossy, man. You can't see anything. And then look at this. You can definitely see what's going on. So that's what be going on with that, guys. Even, you know. So here we go. We're going to use another matte to put over this man. There it goes. Can't decide if I actually like this brush, but it actually does give a real nice coverage. Okay. So there he goes. Of course, I'm going to turn him over. My other guy has come out, and you can see his look. And what I do with these guys, because otherwise, honestly, they look kind of thirsty, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him, and this guy almost looks a little bit streaky. You see 1 or 2, and that could actually be when I took the brush and I was like, oh, let me blah, 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 blah. Look what happened. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of this oil here. I'm just going to put it on him to kind of make him look not so thirsty. But yet again, not glossy. And you'll be able to see. There he is. Very, very cute. So there we go. I'm definitely stamping something fun on this. Whoop, whoop. Let's do it, baby. I will definitely let you guys know. Peace.